Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Where Will the 99 Lead? I'm Keith Casebolt with the Governor of Kentucky and now the President of the University of Pikeville.
And we have to be real careful. You know what that Pikeville College costs?
Yeah.
It's a big buck anytime you make that snafu.
Is it a buck? It's $5 here at the station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you all a little more prosperous.
Well, now
than we are.
that's what James Hurley said when he was up here.
Don't believe everything James Hurley says.
Fine. I'd like to welcome everybody back into the program. Governor, this is something that we started last year, and you and I were sitting down and we were talking about a program that would inform people of our region about the University of Pikeville and what was going on, where you were headed. And you and I were kind of sitting around, and I said, what do we call this? And out of the blue, you said, I have no idea where the 99 is going to lead, talking about the famous steps that lead to the university.
Right.
And that became, lo and behold, the name of the program.
And we really appreciate this opportunity to talk about what's happening at the University of Pikeville and what it means to the region. And I really think that the educational program and the healthcare program are very, very important to this region. The Pikeville Medical Center is very, very important to the economy. I'm talking about the economy of the region, keeping our health care dollars here. And the University of Pikeville, as we educate our best and brightest students here, they're more likely to stay here and grow the economy here.
Yeah.
If our best and brightest students have to go to Lexington, Louisville, Cincinnati to get their education, they're more likely to stay there, and they're going to grow the economy wherever they are.
Absolutely. Well, we have a famous country song, Reading, Writing, and Route 23.
That's right.
Remember that? So we're working right now against this perception that we've had so many years that if you're an intelligent human being and you've got all this potential, the first thing you got to do is get on 23 and get out of here. And all of a sudden I look down at the first note, the University of Pikeville projecting 1,800 students to start the year. That's got to put a smile on your face.
It is, and that indicates the quality of the program that we're providing. Now we'll have about 1,100 full-time students in the undergraduate program, and of course we have about 300 students in the medical school, and then we'll have about 100 other part-time students. But one of the real things new things that we'll be introducing this fall is a very extensive dual credit program where outstanding high school students will be able to take college level courses, and they'll get credit for them in college, and they obviously get credit for them towards their high school diploma. Some of those students will actually attend classes on the Hill with our regular students, but most of them will be attending the class in their high school, taught by a highly qualified high school teacher teaching a college curriculum. So this is sort of a win-win for everybody. It will introduce these students to many opportunities that are available at the University of Pikeville, and we hopefully encourage them to attend our university. Again, staying in the mountains to grow the economy of this region.
Well, Governor, you did so much when you were in office. We realize what roads mean to us. We were isolated. But truthfully, being known as the education governor, if we're going to fix our problems and we're going to lead into the future, this is the greatest thing that we can have is our youth, the leaders of tomorrow, going to the University of Pikeville and deciding to stay here and be a doctor, stay here and be a lawyer, maybe be the next county judge or the next leader or mayor of our city.
Or banker or whatever.
And that's what we really got to do, and I think this is the biggest step. Are you at all surprised at the momentum that's going on with the university? From last year, the great championship win of the basketball team, to the kickoff of the medical building, to all the things that have taken place, it seems like it's just been a complete perfect storm of positive growth for University of Pikeville.
Well, what we're trying to do is make sure those roads lead into the region and bring people in that can contribute to our economy and appreciate and enjoy our unique way of life. We're a little bit different, than a lot of other people in a very positive way.
Yeah, I was going to say in a good way.
I think we still have an appreciation for the importance of family and place, and we like to stay near our ancestors, and but to do that we're not willing to give up economic opportunity to do that, and so what we have to do is bring economic opportunity here through education.
I think that is a great statement. You can be anybody you want to be, and you can do it right here at home.
And with the modern methods of communication, you can do almost any kind of work almost anyway, particularly if it's intellectual work. My son has a little computer business, and all he has to have is a computer. He drive along the road, get on his cell phone, and talk to a client and solve the problems with his computer right there. And there's so many businesses that you can do that way, and do it from here in Central Appalachia.
You know, you're absolutely right. For those of us old enough to remember, if you lived at the head of the holler, you didn't know what was going on at the mouth of the holler. And now, all of a sudden, in this day and time we're living, you're in touch with the world. I mean, really, at the click of a button.
And it's amazing just in my lifetime to think back when I was in high school and to realize how little that I knew about the world.
Yeah.
It just amazes me that I managed to be successful because of my very limited background. Well, that's not the case today. With modern methods of communication, we're just as in touch with the world as anybody in New York or Chicago or anyplace else. So we are not isolated. We need to get away from that we've been isolated up here in the mountains. That was yesterday. We need to think more about tomorrow.
Let's talk a little bit about some programs that are coming. A new RN, BSN program that will begin in August.
Well, the University of Pikeville is an institution that's been here 122 years. Started as a very, very small educational mission of the Presbyterian Church, and as the needs have changed, the institution has changed and evolved to provide the needs from basically a elementary school to a high school to a junior college to a 4-year college, now to a university. That's an evolutionary process. And so we'll be providing master's level education. That'll be the big growth area over the next 5 or 10 years. This year we're starting with the Master's of Business Administration, a basic fundamental advanced degree in business that is required by today's more sophisticated business environment. As we provide our businesses with executives that have a higher level of training, they will make our businesses more profitable.
Absolutely.
Again, growing the economy. We'll keep our people here rather than having to go to some other place to get a Master's of Business Administration. Next year, we'll be starting a Master's of Education Leadership, something our teachers have to have within, I think, 5 years of starting their teaching career. Again, right now, they have to leave the area. It's not available. Improving the quality of our education at the elementary and secondary school level. This fall, we're starting a Bachelor's of Nursing program. We've had a 2-year registered nurse program for many, many years. But again, healthcare is getting more sophisticated, requires a higher level of education for healthcare administrators and healthcare practitioners in nursing and many other fields. So that's another providing a need. The medical community needs nurses that have that higher level of training. And we've been in discussions with the Pikeville Medical Center about other professional needs that they have that we could provide. So over the years, we will continue to provide higher levels of education at the master's degree program.
Also, this program is being broadcast on the stations of East Kentucky Broadcasting and Pike TV. You also have a media arts program for students to have opportunities at Pike TV, and I think this is just absolutely wonderful. What this is going to open up for our youth as to how they discover our region, their ancestors, the history, to be a part of telling a story of our region, I think this is just a fantastic opportunity.
And when you think about the use of media arts, radio, television, We think of television, but it's much bigger than that. It's educational programs, promotional programs for businesses, training videos. There's just a plethora of other uses for people with the media art skills that we will be making available. And over the next 3 years, we will develop a full-fledged media arts program. And then those people will be able to work with our local schools and other entities to provide informational programs for the people of Pike County. This is a government access station. It's not a commercial station. We won't have advertisements like the regular television, but it will be operated very much like a television station. Maybe we'll have programs that update people on what's happening at the university, as well as our local elementary and secondary schools, local sports programs. The future is just unlimited on what we can do to provide more information to the people of Pike County. And it should be available. It will be available on every cable, and we'll be streaming it on the internet for people that don't get their television from cable.
Well, I love the fact that it gives you such transparency. You're able to get out the information. But the other thing, and from being in the world of politics, you know this probably better than anybody. Anytime that we got statewide or national attention, it was always in a negative light. No one ever came to cover the positive things. And this really gives us an opportunity to tell our own story.
And it does. I think most of the government boards that will be meeting will be televised, and that gives people an idea of what's happening on their local governing bodies. Local government is very important. Local government is the government that affects us every day, and we need to know how it works to be able to make rational decisions about what it should be doing. But when you think about it, the schools are local government, the parks, the fire department, the police protection, the water and sewer, recreational facilities, all of those things, garbage service. Many of our roads are the product of local government. I spent 10 years in local government. I have a great respect for the people that serve there. And I'm convinced that while we may have our problems, local government is the most responsive and most efficient and effective form of government that we have, because it is small and people can look at, you can see it operating, and it's important that we stay informed about the people and the processes that they're using.
I agree. Now, this one, ever since you took over as president, I said there's nothing that the governor will do that I'll ever say I'm surprised, because I just think you're so forward-thinking. But when I heard you were starting a lacrosse team, I got to give it to you. I said, boy, that surprises me. All right, tell us about this. We're actually going to have a women's lacrosse team.
Let me talk a little bit about the importance of sports. Now, we're not running a NFL or an NBA farm team.
Right.
We're taking young people that want to continue their athletic careers and using that as a fundamental educational tool, teaching young people to do their best. And if they can get the habit of doing their best in everything they do, they'll be successful.
Absolutely.
And in athletics, you're by definition forced through the game scenario to do your best. If you're going to play, you're going to have to be good. And sometimes when you do your best, you do better than you thought you could. And our national championship basketball team is a great example of that. I'll be frank with you. We didn't have the most talented team in Kansas City. We probably had the best coach, but we didn't have the most talented team. But what we had was a group of young men that did more than they thought they were capable of doing. They did 5 nights in a row, 16 points down, came back, and the great lessons in life, in athletics, to learn to win with dignity and lose with grace, because that's the way life is. Don't win them all. To learn to work with people that are different from you, from different backgrounds and different cultures. Develop your leadership skills, your sense of responsibility. All of those are traits that will serve young people well. And athletics is a very good athletics run correctly is a very good vehicle to get those outcomes. So we do, and athletics brings in students from different parts of the country, which we need. Yet our native students more aware of what the big world is like. And lacrosse is a fast-growing sport. This will be a women's lacrosse team. Because of our football program and other programs, we have more males on the campus than females, and that's unusual. Most colleges have more females on campus than males, and so this will be an opportunity for us to recruit more females on our campus, and probably most of them will be from the Northeast, Maryland, Pennsylvania. Lacrosse is very, very popular as a high school sport there. It's beginning to take place in Kentucky, but it'll be a few years before it becomes as commonplace as soccer and some other sports. But it will, again, give us an opportunity to bring in people from other parts of the country to expose them to our way of life and to add diversity to our citizenship.
Well, kudos to you on the athletics. One, in talking with Coach Kelly Wells, there was a lot of people in the community that said, you win the national championship, you win Coach of the Year. They thought there was no way that the coach would stay or be back. And I had conversations with him, and he said, why would I want to work for anybody else? I've got the governor, I've got Vice President James Hurley, and the greatest place to live. And congratulations to you for having that work environment and picking a wonderful guy. Kelly Wells is as good a person as he is a coach. He's that fabulous. Then you go out, you recruit the winningest high school coach in football, Dudley Hilton. I know you've got to be really excited about the football season.
I think it's going to be a real exciting football season. And, this is a football area. Pikeville's been a football town for years and years and years. And we've recruited a lot more Eastern Kentucky players. Coach Hilton is a person that, like we make it very plain to him. We want you to come here to get an education, and to help use athletics to help pay for part of that education. But you're here for an education. It's not a high school. This is a serious educational institution. But it's also, there's other things to it. So we're going to have a good football season. I urge the people to come out, and I think you'll see a high quality of football that's pretty impressive myself.
You also went out and you got a new athletics director.
Again, athletics is such an important part of our overall educational program that Robert Staggs, who was our softball coach and was the volleyball coach, had taken over the athletic duty responsibilities just before I came to Pikeville, the University of Pikeville, and I recognized that he wanted to get back to his coaching responsibilities, and you can't do both. So we have hired a Reggie Overton that has extensive experience. He was at Moorhead and was at Virginia State University as an athletics administrator. Has a background in sports medicine, has a PhD. So he'll be a great addition to the community and the university, and will continue to elevate our athletic program to be one of the best in the Mid-South. And the Mid-South is one of the best conferences in the NAIA Association of Smaller Colleges. So we're going to compete at the highest levels, and every once in a while we're going to win another national championship. Bowling's becoming a NAIA sport. Our bowling teams have been very successful, and we think they'll continue to be that. We just hired a new baseball coach, and we believe that he will bring our baseball program up to a very competitive station. So we got a lot of things. I think we got about 20 different sports, men's and women's.
Last year, with all this positive going on, I think you came up one morning on the morning show and you sat down and you said, got something to run by you. What do you think about changing the name from Pikeville College? And boy, we opened up the Facebook and we gave out a website, and all of a sudden there was a buzz during the community was, talking about it. And And you had some ideas, and I thought, oh man, what's going to happen with this? You made the change to the University of Pikeville, and it was seamless. I don't know that I've ever seen a transition go this smoothly and for people to embrace it that quickly.
But it didn't start that way.
No, that's what that's what I was touching on. I was a little bit worried. I scooted away from you when you started that conversation.
But I think the opportunity to give people the opportunity to have their say.
Yes.
And we had the Facebook page operated for a long time, and people talk back and forth and debate about this, that, and the other. And it was amazing to see a diversity of, 13 or 14 different names that really got serious consideration. But they started to coalesce around the University of Pikeville, and this little nickname U-Pike, I think, has really caught on. It makes it easy to say, and as we say, major sports programs like UConn and UMass and U-Pike, it just sort of seems to work real well with the younger generation. So it has been seamlessly. We've preserved the memory of Pikeville College by placing the arch that was at the foot of the 99 in a prominent place in the Alara courtyard up on the hill for the people that want that little nostalgia. This will always be Pikeville College to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we want to keep it that way. We want them to remember their years here at Pikeville College. As we grow and expand and become a university, we don't want to forget Pikeville College.
I think that was the consensus. People wanted to honor the past, but they realized in order to move to the future and to expand that it was the right move to become a university and to change the name to the University of Pikeville. And they've embraced it quite well.
I think so.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the projects you've got going on. Obviously, people seeing the big crane and the building going up on the new medical school, it looks to be going faster than I would have thought it would have.
Well, it's 40% complete. We're actually about 3 weeks behind schedule because of some bad weather. But if you've noticed, if you're out here at night, sometimes they work a shift late at night, sometimes all night to get. It's a very confined space, and so it's hard to get a crane around it. So there has to take a lot of coordination. But we do believe that we will begin to occupy the building about the 1st of April. We need to be in and fully operational by the 1st of July for the medical school.
Now, we're talking 2012?
Yes, this year.
Wow.
Yeah, 8-9 months from now. We'll have a large ribbon cutting open house in June, and we'll want all the public to come in and see what will truly be a state-of-the-art facility. There's nobody will have a better facility for young people to learn the medical arts in than the University of Pikeville. And what that also, and the cafeteria. We have a state-of-the-art cafeteria that will serve the entire campus, and will be available for business people that want to get the elevators and come up for a quick lunch. But what it also does is frees up space in the rest of the college for expansion of the undergraduate program. We now have 2 colleges within the university. One is the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, and the other is the Pikeville College of Arts and Sciences. And later on we'll probably have other colleges, but those 2 colleges, the College of Arts and Sciences, will be expanding and offering more programs and be able to serve more students. Although 1,200 daytime students is probably about all that we'll be able to handle.
I was getting ready to ask, the last time that you and I talked, we were talking about a record enrollment, and you said, well, that's kind of a good thing and a little bit of a bad because I've got to figure out where to put these people.
Well, 2 years ago, we had less than 300 people in residence halls. Now we have 758 beds available, and we've got about 775 students wanting a bed. Now we know some of them may not show up. Students move in this coming weekend, and we'll start classes about Wednesday or Thursday of next week. But we will have well over 700 students in residence halls, and then some of them live out in the community, and of course some of them live at home. So this brings on new talk. You know, or is it time to think about a new residence hall? We now have probably 150 students at the Old Days End Motel, which we've renovated it, and it's a nice facility, but it's not on campus. And undergraduate students need to be, if they're going to really have a good college experience, they need to be on campus where they can take part in all the activities without having to have transportation. So that's another. We're having a retreat, staff retreat, in probably about the middle of September, and we're going to just spend about 2 or 3 days just really talking about the future. Where do we go next? You know, we always wonder where the 99 will lead.
Well, I'm telling you, you've got our curiosity, because with everything going on, this has probably got to be one of the most exciting times of your life. I mean, knowing how dear Pikeville College was to you, and now the University of Pikeville, to be able to come back and do this in your hometown, and to see the growth, and to see the community embrace it the way that it's doing, and to look to the future of this, Governor, I mean, it's got to be an exciting time for you.
Well, it is personally very, very rewarding, a fitting capstone, I guess, of what I've pretty good career that I'm pretty proud of.
Oh yeah, you did
Certainly
quite well.
being governor of Kentucky was just an unbelievable experience, but a lot of stress associated with that, and it's a contentious environment where people are always criticizing your actions and always looking trying to discredit you for whatever reason, and that wears on you after a while. That's a part of the political system. I respect it, I understand it, I accept it, but the thing about this job is nobody wants me to fail.
Yeah.
Everybody realizes how important this institution is, and we're all coalescing around the vision, and it's a very rewarding personal experience.
I've heard people talk about planting a tree where maybe you'll never sit, but someone else will in the shade, and it looks like with everything that you've got going on, you've done more than just a tree. It looks like you've put out a whole orchard. And, you know, you could only wonder, where will the 99 lead, and where will all these students end up? Will they be the next governor? Or will it be the next president of the United States? Or the next heart surgeon at the medical center? That's exciting times, and I think exciting times for our youth. Governor, registration's still going on as we've recorded this right now. I hope we can get back together and get a final tally of what the enrollment is going to be. Also, you have the opening convocation that's coming up. That is going to be on September the 15th, I believe.
Right. Yeah, September the 15th.
Okay,
yeah.
11 a.m.
I was thinking August there just a minute. And then there we'll talk about the future of the institution. I think our board chair, Terry Dodson, will be granted a honorary doctorate. There's another example of an outstanding Pike Countian that got his education at Pikeville College then.
Yes.
I can say Pikeville College then.
Yeah.
And has been established a major company operating worldwide. And he started it right here in Eastern Kentucky. That's what I mean. When we take our best and brightest, educate them here, they'll stay here, they'll grow the economy here, and when you have a part of that, it is personally rewarding.
Indeed it is. Governor, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Our governor, our president of the University of Pikeville, Paul Patton. I'm Keith Casebolt. Thank you for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you again next week when we will try to find out where the 99 will lead.